let's talk about the hands briefly before we get started. With your hands, you have your big knuckles, you have your mid knuckles or mid joints, and your tip joints. Okay, if I move my fingers away from the palm, out like that, that's called extension. So I'm extending my fingers out. Flexion is the opposite of extending. So flexing means you're bringing your thumb or your fingers in towards the palm of the hand. So you have your extension, flexion, extension, flexion. Mid-range refers to that point in between the limit of extension and flexion. Your fingers are going to be strongest and work best in their mid-range typically. So if you apply that to your knuckles here, my big knuckle, I can extend that far, I can flex it in about right there. So the mid-range is about right in there, and that's generally where you want to play with your fingers because they'll be stronger there. If I apply that same principle to the mid joints and the tip joints, that gives me a fairly curved finger setup. Okay, so if you catch yourself playing and your fingers are extended out too far, that's typically not a good thing, or if they're flexed in too much, that's typically not good. So you want that mid-range. A little bit about practicing these finger exercises that we're going to be going through with these videos. Guitar is very habit-forming. You can get good habits, you can get bad habits, and of course we want to get good habits. So the idea is you want a lot of correct repetitions of these movements. Making music is not about how you wiggle your fingers, but how you wiggle your fingers goes into how well you'll be able to play music. So the idea is you want to get good habits with these, with how to move the fingers, so that eventually it just happens correctly, that you don't have to put a lot of thought into it. But at this stage, just starting out, it requires a lot of thought. And if you do that, you'll be a much better player in the long run. Okay, good luck.